We made a decision to spend some time on arena shooter gameplay modes in Unreal Engine. So what we are open sourcing is Starframe, 99% decrease in transaction costs by using the Z.ink token instead of Sol. We're layering in new ways to level up and progress characters, ships, fleets, accounts, as well as economic incentives.
You guys have been coming out with all sorts of developments. There's a lot of updates. There's shooter mode updates. There's HoloSim. There's an L1 in there as well in the mix. So can we start with the high level and then we'll dive deeper into each of these updates? What is Star Atlas Summer?
Yeah, Star Atlas Summer consists of a series of events. We kicked it all off with a celebration of our community during Community Week. There were daily events taking place. We had two award ceremonies mixed in there. That's the Jonies. That is kind of an award ceremony for individual contributors from the community. Oftentimes, people that are out there publicly talking about Star Atlas, sharing information, or otherwise building dashboards and access to information. We also had COPA, the Council of Peace Assembly, and that is really dedicated more to the DAC ecosystem. And so we had 10 or 12 DACs on stage. DACs are decentralized autonomous corporations. Those are the guilds of Star Atlas. But on top of that, we've included a series of town halls. So 3 different town halls, all with major updates and or product releases across the Star Atlas suite. And so that's everything from what we have going on in Unreal Engine with our arena shooter modes and competitive racing. That is HoloSim. We have a major update of that today, actually, and that's our full free-to-play version of Sage with a bunch of really cool experimental features and enhancements. Things like a tutorial system. Shocker, something that really helps players get through and learn how to play this more complex 4X RTS MMO style of game. It has mission directives and quests. It has our Sage AI virtual assistant or virtual companion that you can interact with and ask questions about how to play. We're adding in now economic incentives. We have a couple of different reward tracks that people can participate in. And then the council rank system, which I'm personally really excited about. This is essentially our formal progression system in the game that includes things like research nodes. So being able to progress through the game, level up, assign points to various specializations, and now really be able to dial in specifically how you want to play the game yourself. This framework, this council rank framework, also puts some restrictions around players, and so this part is both necessary, but I think also beneficial. So as we navigate into C4, new players will actually need to progress along this curve to be able to do things like expand how many fleets they can have in the game, or progress along their ship licensing curve so that they can start to operate larger and larger class ships, moving into that capital and commander class ships. So a lot of stuff happening right now. We obviously announced Z.ink along this as well. That's our identity linked SVM L1 that will be shifting the Star Atlas game logic over to, but a lot of things happening in the world of Star Atlas right now.
Absolutely. I think when people think about Star Atlas, it's these amazing cinematic videos that you guys have released. You've got these huge ships, and you mentioned some of them. You got the biggest ones that really, really excite people, I think. So how are we moving towards a reality where people can just get involved, go and sign in, and captain one of these massive ships?
Well, I think we are certainly trying to simplify the onboarding experience, and I think that's really what your question is directed at. I would say we are moving into a world where it's not only easier to get in and play, but the state of the product is more mature to a point where there's actually a lot of different things that you can do. So I will say I think we still have a long way to go, but obviously our goal since inception has been to make this process clean, seamless, easy, and have a fun experience that's also rewarding on the economic side.
So shooter mode got some major updates. I saw there was a bunch of UGC coming out. People actually recording themselves playing the game, battling it out, and that was all really, really exciting. What's going on there behind the scenes?
We made a decision to spend some time on arena shooter gameplay modes in Unreal Engine, largely because what is arguably the most unique selling point of our arena shooter are these movement mechanics and motion systems. And so you have your jetty boots and your soul jetty on your palms, and you have your bubby, your shield system, and so being able to fly around the map in different ways and manage your stamina as you're doing that uh, kind of really creates this fun gameplay experience for us. And so we put a bunch of emphasis into refining that and polishing that. And the arena that you're referring to is probably Paizel's arena. That
Yes.
is that's the map that we have now fully polished up to gold standards. So all of the finer details are in the map. We're layering in new ways to level up and progress characters, ships, fleets, accounts, as well as economic incentives. And so for every release, you're getting some component of both progression and incentives. But part of the both the racing and the shooter gameplay is that there are XP systems in place. And now, again, going back to rarity, the more rare crew you have, the bigger bonuses you get, really up to 25% on legendary. There is a 45% bonus on your XP if you have an anomaly, but those are exceptionally rare. There's only maybe 10 or 12 of those out there. I haven't actually seen one in the arena yet myself, but so players are earning XP, and then they get to participate in this progression where it unlocks different components and loadouts that you can equip on your characters. But more than anything, I think it's just really cool seeing how many people are now coming into the game playing organically. So we're seeing a lot of traction with the latest arena shooter update, and um, yeah, I've been in there playing just about every day myself.
Are you on the leaderboard, or have you are you playing with like an add-on account, so you don't want to take too many spots on the leaderboard?
Oh, it's funny you ask. So, I mean, we don't really have a formal leaderboard for it. I do play with my standard account, and it does have my Swagner gamer tag on it. And now this might just be my own uh, how I'm perceiving it, but it does feel like I get ganged up on. Like I
Yeah.
think people see me in the game and they all want to go kill me. It's a badge of honor for players. So I find myself trying to escape a lot, which I've gotten pretty proficient at. But yeah, I'm playing with my main account in there.
Awesome, awesome. So they know who to shoot. That's brilliant. Is there like a bonus LP multiplier if they come across you in shooter mode and take you out?
That's a good idea. Not yet. It's actually not a good idea. I would not want to implement that because I'm quite confident I would never have fun playing myself
You need an add-on account to avoid all the headhunting. Then
for sure.
what's a rough timeline for people to be able to access the spaceships? I think the sort of natural order of progression would be okay. We can be on the ground, we can shoot each other. We've got these really cool jets, but the end vision is obviously to go and conquer the entire universe.
Well, you can jump in and access ships now. In fact, one of the first features we released was the Volant Station or the showroom, and that was really just a map and environment that people could explore and load their game assets in. So you could walk up to a terminal, load a ship in, and then start to pilot that ship, explore the interior to the extent that it is a model that has the interior built out. Now, people will notice that ships are in varying states of development as they load them in. Some of them are fully polished, complete with the interiors and all of the work necessary to present the vehicle in the game. Some of them are clay models or gray box models, so that you can still hop in and pilot that ship. You can still experience the unique ship physics of each one of the different ships that are out there. Again, just in different states of development, and we continuously update those. And with any of the game updates, then new ship models and further design gets implemented. What I didn't touch on is something that we call Gallia, which is a single player open world experimental system. And so that starts on a space station, and you can again, hop into a ship and then target different planets, and you can go subwarp to those planets, explore the different biomes. There's a version of space mining that we've added to that as well, which is really more of a skill-based mining operation. And we do have some other cool things that are rolling out with that. Things like mission systems and being able to go, pick up a bounty or go defend an area or go transport different resources from a planet to some other location. And
Super, super exciting. I'm going to get into the numbers because one of the most recent posts that I saw about, I think it was about HoloSim Season 1, $35,000 rewards, and there's a Soulflare partnership integration there. Can you break that down for me? What's going on? How do people compete for that price pool?
yeah, big shout out to Soulflare. Now they've put up 50 Sol and $5,000 in stable coins for us for this prize pool, and then we supplement that with some of our own game assets as well. Now there's two tracks. The first of those tracks is a completionist track, and so that's for the first 1,500 people that come in and play the game, that get through the tutorial system and reach a certain point in the mission directive or quest line. And for people that go through that, they get zero point zero 0.02 Sol. They're getting this Vizu Solos extra small racer ship from us, and then they're getting a Soulflare ship skin alongside it. And that ship skin looks really, really cool, by the way. It's this nice bright yellow Soulflare branded ship skin. And then the second track is leaderboard. So that will carry on throughout the entire season, which we expect to last about 5 weeks. And the leaderboard will reward the top 1,000 people, depending on where you place in the mission or questline system.
You mentioned you're bringing in restrictions to kind of stop that from becoming a pay-to-win scenario. So how do you balance trying to grow Sage as a revenue-generating platform while limiting the amount of capital that people are able to spend as they come in? Where's the balance there? How do you find parity?
It's placing some of the restrictions on the further out on the tail end of that progression curve, and making it such that people who are genuinely engaged in playing the game, they're leveling up frequently enough that they can expand their fleet operations. But this council rank system with the research nodes it's more than guardrails around leveling up. It is also the research node system. So being able to specialize in the game. And this also creates balance between players. It might be say a very large player who's specialized in mining operations versus a player with a smaller asset portfolio in the game that specializes in combat. And that smaller player is now able to attack and defeat the quote unquote whale because of how they've specialized. So this starts to introduce a unique balance to the game that doesn't currently exist as well.
We have to talk about Z.ink. So explain to me the logic behind it. Explain to me how it makes economic sense, how it makes sense from a game development perspective, how it makes sense in terms of an onboarding perspective.
Yeah, so the idea for Z.ink, like when we started to formalize thoughts around launching our own SVM L1 network, which I will go on record saying was never part of our ambition, and nor was it something I really wanted to undertake. So wasn't ever really our goal. I would note at the beginning of this year, Solana was experiencing pretty significant degrees of network congestion. And that network congestion, which is really kind of the meme coin pump.fun craze, a lot of activity on the network. This is great for Solana. Solana has grown substantially over the 5 years that we've been building on it. But with this network congestion, it was also creating a priority fee issue. And so if transactions don't settle, that means your gaming experience is really quite poor. Imagine yourself clicking a button to take an action like moving from point A to point B on the map, and nothing happens. Or you try to dock something as simple as docking to a starbase, and nothing happens, right? And so we were getting a lot of feedback from our community that obviously this was suboptimal. We needed to do something about it. But probably the larger overarching piece is that priority fees were spiking quite substantially, and in some cases, consuming as much as 30% of our of gross revenues of our players. And so that's effectively a tax that was paid to Solana out of our players' pockets that we didn't have any control over whatsoever. And so when all of these fees spiked, uh, the smaller portfolio sizes were not able to operate profitably at all. They actually spent more money playing the game in Solana fees than they were able to earn off of playing the game itself. And so these were pretty considerable issues. We actually lost a lot of players during this period, and so we decided, okay, we're going to launch our own network because we'll have a greater degree of control over how it operates and how it matures, but also just a pure function of launching this with its own network token, this Z.ink network token, which is the equivalent of Sol on Solana. Z.ink will be the network token for consensus on the Z.ink network. A pure function of market cap. I mean, the other thing, Solana has grown significantly in market cap over time. We think it probably will continue doing so. But at the same time, the amount you spend in Sol for a transaction remains fixed. And so as the price per token of Sol goes up, the costs on our users also go up. Well, we would anticipate that Z.ink is not going to launch at an $80 billion market cap. That'd be great, but I don't think that's going to happen. And so we can probably expect a 99% decrease in transaction costs by using the Z.ink token instead of Sol.
It sounds like, 99% decrease or theoretical decrease in transaction costs on a dollar basis is obviously a no-brainer for people if they are engaged in something because of the economic incentives. But it sounds like not much is going to change for the gamers.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't think of this as us abandoning Solana in any way. We've been staunch advocates and proponents for Solana. I continue to be a strong advocate for Solana tech. If anything, we are using the Solana virtual machine for a reason. It's because we believe in the underlying technology. But beyond that, I mean, there is a bridge that we're building that will, seamless bridge between Z.ink and Solana, and we're still leaving a lot of our programs running on Solana. Our team has very likely deployed more on-chain programs than any other team in the crypto space. I might be misspeaking, but we've launched something like 25 programs on Solana, and that's our DAO governance system and the Atlas and Polis lockers and the Galactic marketplace and any number of a variety of other services that we've built out outside of the game system. So I have a lot of confidence that we'll grow that network over time, and it will mature. It'll blossom out, and will become this genuine decentralized entity in the future.
Earlier, we briefly touched on open sourcing. So run me through quickly what the idea there is. You're opening it up to new game developers. What's the high level ambition with that?
So what we are open sourcing is something that we call Starframe. Now, Starframe is a development framework that, the most popular of which, or really the exclusive one right now on Solana, is called Anchor. So anybody who's building Solana programs and deploying those on Solana, they're using this Anchor framework to structure and architect those. Well, because of the sophistication of our game systems, it really became this necessity that our team developed out our own internal framework. It's called Starframe. And while that's valuable to us, we also do want to contribute back to the ecosystem, that Solana ecosystem, that has benefited us so much. And so we are moving forward with open sourcing that. We think it's going to be a great tool for all future builders and existing builders on Solana. And what it unlocks is the ability to write more sophisticated and complex programs that can achieve more and consume less.
Super, super exciting. So let's say this is the first time I'm hearing about Star Atlas. Unlikely, highly, highly unlikely. But where do I go to get started?
I would certainly say with the website update now, for anyone that is brand new, you can go to staratlas.com, and we have a nice breakdown of again, the entire product suite. So I would say start at staratlas.com, get the information that you need. Part of that email sign up, by the way, is that we've also published a Star Atlas guide to everything. And this is a 165-page document that gives you background, lore. It's a lot of art in there about all of the different species, the different characters, the different ship manufacturers. Otherwise, second step, I can't emphasize this enough, jump into the Star Atlas Discord, discord.gg/Star Atlas. We have an extremely active and supportive community. And so, it's probably one of the best places to get information. So that's a great second resource. But third, once you stop by the site, you get your game access key. You can go explore the Unreal Engine client for free. And then otherwise, I would, to your point, probably direct people into HoloSim, because so it puts you in a really solid position to be able to get in, to understand what assets you want to buy, how they work in the game, and then start producing, consistent earnings off of those game assets in the Sage product.
Awesome. Michael, thank you so much for coming and chatting to us.
Appreciate it, guys.